they about to revisit it?
Wednesday.
Wow. That's the first I heard that today. They better revisit it. Ridiculous. Right.
You'll be the first to let us know.
Yeah, it looks good.
And welcome back into the Casual House Bird Gang. Another lovely Monday night brings you another edition, of course, of the Kazual Sportz Show, the only show in the Valley that speaks for and represents all things Bird Gang. We get all of your stuff out there to the Valley, road trips, tailgates and their locations, barbecues, picnics, tickets you want to sell and tickets you want to buy, or anything else that's going down, a new club that's going to start up, whatever it may be, Bird Gang, this is the avenue that supports you. You want to be involved with today's show or tonight's show? Go to our 3 social media outlets, Twitter, Facebook, and of course our new YouTube page, all with the same tab, Kazual Sportz, and that's K-A-Z, with the Z at the end of sports. You can also hit us up on our website at www.kazualsports.com and go ahead and download the Kazual Sportz mobile app. It is the best way for you, Bird Gang, to be in touch with the show and all things that are coming up through this season. What we got on tap today, of course, Cardinals preseason game number 2 recap. We're going to go a little bit over Rosen's performance and the wide receiver room. And then later we're going to do a little bit, just a tiny touch of a little bit of fantasy talk. And then I know my man Sean over here's got a few things as well. So, of course, Earl Burnett, Sean McConnell, y'all know how we bring it every Monday night at 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. And a lot of exciting things about this starting to go down, man. And so
people are starting to catch on. The NFL's coming back.
Okay, that's exactly.
Oh, what is it? Yes, it's that time. Your kids are back in school. Football's back in session. Pay attention.
Exactly. And you know what we normally do about this time, we're going to get that Bird Gang news out because there's a lot to get to with the Cardinals game that went down on, was it Friday? Yeah, Friday night. It was another preseason number 2. It was preseason number 2, so we got a lot to talk about with that. And you had some NFL news too, so we'll go through some of that stuff too. So with that being said, Bird Gang, let's do what we do. Let's get your news out here and see what's happening in the Bird Gang. Let's have a look.
Okay, Bird Gang Club, it's time to get in the Bird Gang huddle.
Give us some protection right here now. We got to touch it up. Bird Gang on 3, 1, 2, 3.
All right, Bird Gang, y'all know how we do it. The AZ Bird Gang fam, my man Valentine Flores has his Cardinal autograph signing going down September 11th. And the player in the house that's signing the autographs, you heard it last week, David Johnson, Bird Gang, will be out there. So if you want to be part of this event, you have to look up my man Valentine Flores on Facebook and sign up at the AZ Bird Gang Fam Club if you haven't signed up already. The event's going to be going down on September 11th, 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock. Free Agent Sports, one of the best memorabilia stores in the AZ. That's where David will be at to sign those autographs for the AZ Bird Gang Fam. And my man Valentine also has a raffle going on for lucky winner to win an up-close meet and greet with David himself. So Bird Gang, go on out there and sign up at the AZ Bird Gang Fam. For more information, www.azbirdgangfam.club. That's club, C-L-U-B. And a shout out to my people over at the American Youth Football, the AYF. The Gilbert Dogs went out there this weekend and showed their generosity and went out there and gave some water out to the homeless throughout the valley downtown. So wonderful gesture for those young men to go out there and learn life's lessons, and it was a good deed for them out there. And thanks a lot. My man Michael Gross got those young guys going in the right direction. Good job out there, dogs. And we look forward to hearing from you this season as well. My man Lynn Jackson and the 12 News Tailgate Alliance getting things ready to party, Bird Gang. I'm hearing these get-togethers are going to be off the hook, is what I'm being told. You do not want to miss it, Bird Gang. You want to come out there to some of the best food, some of the best tailgating or atmosphere type thing, and getting together party like 12 News Tailgate Alliance throws a heck of a party. And of course, they're going to be doing some things with 12 News as well, some cameos throughout the season. My man Lynn Jackson working really, really hard to pump that thing out. So Bird Gang, let's go support my man Lynn Jackson. Look him up on Facebook under Lynn Jackson on Facebook. And of course, you've heard it last week and you've heard it on my man Jay's show tonight. Thursday night marks the September 6th. The show, Neutral Zone, the Neutral Zone show with myself, Sean, and some hosts of the NBC Sports Talent featuring my man Jay Adams, Ed Smith of the Easy Sports Show, and we're going to be doing, like he said, talking about the matchups throughout the week going into the Sunday's games, and a lot's going to be going on with that. We'll give you more information about that as we continue to get to that day. But it's September 6th, the Thursday starting the season, and we're going to be talking about all the matchups that are going to be going on for Sunday's games. You don't want to miss that, Bird Gang. It's going to be awesome. Kazual Sports Fantasy League has already locked up. All the spots have been taken. Want to thank all of the Bird Gang for participating, and it's going to be an outstanding fantasy football year. And good luck to all the Bird Gang that joined, and that $500 payoff at the end. Good luck out there, Bird Gang. And lastly, Monday night's show next week, Bird Gang, this show will be remote on the road in Scottsdale at the Dominique's home of our very own Larry Fitzgerald, where he has his supper club foundation going down. His dinner is going down, and he does it every year. It marks the 10th year this year of this event, and Kazual Sports will be in the house. And yes, we will get an exclusive with Larry Fitzgerald right here on Kazual Sports for the first time, Bird Gang. So you definitely don't want to miss that, and you want to tune in to the show. It's going to be live from the Dominique's in Scottsdale. Those are the clubs and the independents and all the news that was represented in the Kazual House this week. Let's go ahead and break this huddle. Bird Gang. Woo! All right.
We don't have anything going on. We're not busy.
Nah, we never busy, man. We got not that much going on. You know, just a couple of interviews and just the usual. But yeah, it's going to be a pretty good week next week. We're going to be having my man Jay going to join us for the whole 2-hour spot. The Focus is going to join us. So the show is actually going to be from 7 o'clock till 9 o'clock, and we're going to try to get as many interviews as we can.
Yeah.
Because everybody's going to be walking the red carpet. We're going to try to pull them to the side and get them on the show live on the show right then and there, and it's going to be an awesome night. So Bird Gang, come on out. You can actually come out to Dominique's and kind of watch the show live, because we're going to be right out there with the table set up and everything out there in front of the restaurant. So it's going to be pretty awesome. I just heard that they're going to be looking at that rule.
Oh, well.
Didn't we just talk about that last week?
Yeah, they're going to be looking at it. That just means, hey, we know it's a problem.
Hey, we screwed up. We got to go back into the room and try to tweak this thing.
What was the last thing that they looked at? Anthem policy? How'd that turn out?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
really,
I don't
know. Yeah, but again,
Mike Zimmer's losing his mind over there. Did you hear the things Mike Zimmer's been saying?
No.
Oh man, first off, he calmed down, but he was just going off about. I mean, not like it's in a Mike Zimmer type of way. So
Right.
he was saying that the helmet rule is going to cost people jobs.
Yeah.
That he really basically what it boiled down to is he was upset, but he thinks that playoffs games will be lost, jobs will be lost.
Oh my goodness.
And I mean, I don't think he's wrong.
I don't think he is either. And the NFL doesn't think he's wrong either because they're going back into the room and trying to do something about it because this is getting out of control. I watched a few more games, of course, again, and I noticed like the trend we said last week. It's all defensive.
Yeah.
It's all on the defense. I have not seen one offensive player get this flag yet, but yet most of the time it's the running back on the offense that's initiating the contact.
Of course.
Have you seen that?
Yeah, or blocking.
Yes. I'm like, okay, a running back's instinct when he gets in the open field, his first instinct when he's going to brace for impact.
He's going to put his head down.
He's going to put his head
right in his
down
stomach.
and he's going to hold that ball and curl it and tuck his body, and he is going to go directly straight into whatever's coming at him.
Yep.
And they are not throwing that flag. The initiator, that's what the rule said. The person that's initiating the contact is going to flag that team.
But it's an offensive league now.
Exactly.
And you have to understand that the NFL wants points on the
Oh
board.
my God! I'm sitting there going, this dude put his head down first, and it's kind of messed up for the defensive player because while that running back's running, he's upright, and the defensive player's coming in, and then he sees the defensive player coming, so he drops his head, and then all of a sudden it's the defensive player leading with his helmet.
Yeah.
It's like that's not right.
And on the flip side of that too, the offensive player is also taking a risk at a concussion as well.
Correct.
And so this
Correct.
doesn't really fix anything.
And
This
so-
just puts it on one side of
Right.
the ball and says only you can do it.
Right. So the runner is pretty much protecting himself. And so he ducks his head in protecting the ball and himself, of course, and bracing for the impact. And the defensive player sometimes is going for the right area to tackle. He's trying to hit the proper area, but the guy dropped his head, you can't help but hit him. I mean, what's going to happen? You can't do. There's nothing you can do about that.
Once you commit, you commit. There's really no getting out of it.
Exactly. We got this game, Monday night game, a preseason game going right now. I guarantee you can look at this offensive line.
Flag. Look at that.
I was just about to say.
Survey says.
Exactly. And it's like, you can look at the flag and it's like, you can see that flag should have been thrown 1,000 times.
Oh, don't worry. It was just a false start.
You're right.
Okay.
But I'm glad they're going to go look. I don't know how they're going to straighten this mess out, but it needs some tweaking big time. It needs some clarity. It needs a lot. I understand the trying to protect people and trying to, because of last year's events with Ryan Shazier going down, and they don't want to see things like that happening. But you can't destroy the game itself.
What are we're already kind of agreed, but the fact that this person said it, I want to know if you 100% agree. Richard Sherman, there is no make adjustment to the way you tackle. Even in a perfect form tackle, the body is led by the head. The rule is idiotic and should be dismissed immediately. When you watch rugby players tackle, they are still leading by the head. Will be flag football soon.
I agree with that 100%.
It's hard agreeing with Sherman.
It is hard, but when you think about it, the dynamics of tackling, they're teaching you now to go low to grab the legs and to pull somebody down.
But your body
can't stay up. Your body
you
can't keep your head up and bring arms down just to go tackle somebody. That's retarded.
You break your neck that way.
you can break your neck worse that way.
You're gonna have more problems.
Man, and so he's right. I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. There's no way you can.
You heard it first, guys. Earl
I'm
loves
sorry.
Richard Sherman.
No, I do not. I said it last week. That helmet is it's a big object that's on his head, and you cannot just make it disappear. I'm sorry, you can't. But I'm glad they're going to go back into the room and try to figure something out with that. But we'll see. You're listening to the Kazual Sportz Show on NBC Sports Radio AM 1060. We got a lot to get to because we had a preseason game to go down on Friday, and the Cardinals. A lot to talk about, Bird Gang. So hit us up on Facebook, Kazual Sportz, K-A-Z with the Z at the end of sports, and we will be right back, Bird Gang.
We're gonna take a little break, but we'll be back in the clouds, so don't nobody go nowhere.
So I'm gonna have to speak up, Mark. I'm sorry. So since my phone mic is over here, but this mic's over here, I might have to do one of these.
Oh, he can't hear you?
No, because I'm talking to you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought
So-
you said somebody could hear
I might have to do a little side speak.
you. Besides, dude.
So that, yeah, they're going to get creeped out. That's us like
Oh,
5
that's
seconds
dope,
ago.
man.
So you can see me watching me.
That's pretty cool.
Me watching me watching me.
You could be one of the many people with a digestive
What's up, Landon?
exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Even if you don't know what EPI is, you might know the symptoms. Frequent diarrhea,
So.
gas, bloating, stomach
And that's
pain.
pretty clear,
If you
too.
have even just
That's
one
your
of the
phone?
symptoms, you could still have
Android
Don't,
life.
don't even say it, man.
Android
Don't
life.
even say it.
Android all day.
Next time we're going to see what it really looks like when you put the Apple phone up
What needs to happen is I need to get the arms in a little bit better shape. I'm going to be wearing the tank top on live.
Oh.
Oh no.
have a conversation with your doctor. Is
Uh,
identifyingcom, brought to you by Envy.
is that running on my page too?
No, it's on this casual page.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
We haven't had ours run like this, so people probably don't expect it.
Yeah. Kind of just threw it up there. But that's alright.
What's what we talking about?
Hmm?
Okay.
Oh, this was Defense Competition Committee's sound rule after player criticism. Easy for him to say because he's on the NFL Network. Talking. Right? I mean,
Exactly. All right, so where we headed next? Let's see.
we're going to just get into the game.
Yep. Play it.
I got notes, but we both saw it at the same time. So
Yeah. We were shooting stuff back and forth. Like, did you see that?
basically, usually I just go through the highlights again. That way I organize my thoughts in order
Right.
of when they happen.
Oh yeah.
So I remember like, oh, this happened at that quarter.
If I get a note, something I want to remember, I'll grab my phone and hit the recorder thing and record it and say it and remember it because I'll forget it.
Yeah.
I will forget it. Like, I want to clarify this thing on Thursday night thing because I didn't hit that good enough.
Yeah, leave it
Simply because I couldn't read my own writing.
No. Oh no.
So I had to improvise a little bit. It's like, oh, what's that word? Is that a G or E?
Oh man.
Whatever.
Hey, next time we could probably even prop this up on the table, coming down.
Oh, that would be dope.
That way we're just talking into it.
Right.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah, like us, we're doing it for the first time. We got, what, one person listening?
I don't know how accurate these are until after.
It's now time to jump back into the action with Earl Burnett, aka Kazual on the Kazual Sportz Show on
Oh, my mic.
Sports Radio AM 1060. To be a part of the show, call and interact at 602-260-1060.
Welcome back in the Casual House Bird Gang. All right. I had to tighten my mic back up. It was starting to fall.
Come on, man.
You're listening to the Kazual Sportz Show, brought to you by the good folks at Entrust Realty, the lowest property rate, vacancy rate, I should say, NDAZ. I should know. I deal with them myself. Wanted to go back and hit that update again a little better on the better than I hit it in the huddle. Thursday night, September 6th, the start of the new show, The Neutral Zone. It's going to be a show that is going to be previewing the up and coming games on Sundays. And we're going to do picks. We're going to be a lot of, analyzing the games and giving you matchups and giving you things that maybe that'll help you on your fantasy team as well. That'll give you, some picks. But we're going to be,
Or maybe it'll make it worse.
yeah, Jay went out here kind of putting the chest out, talking about he's going to try to, run us over and stuff. So,
Are we
this
gonna
is-
make a challenge?
when it comes to fantasy football, it's every man for himself. So it's like, okay, hey, I'm sorry, my name's on the whole thing, so I got to be the one to win this thing, right?
We might need to make a challenge. Last place has to do something.
Oh,
I don't know what it
that would
is.
be cool. Yeah.
I'm not willing to do anything disgusting. Because, I mean-
the the person that come in last got to eat a worm.
Oh, come on. As long as, hey, if it's at the bottom of a bottle of tequila, I'm good.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah. Exactly.
You don't want to lose that one.
But we're going to have, like I said, it's going to be featuring Jay Adams from The Focus, Ed Smith from the Easy Sports Show, and of course, Kazual Sportz will be in the house as well. So you don't want to miss that bird game. It's starting up on September 6th, Thursday nights, 8 to 9, and we'll also be at some remote locations as well. So look forward to that. Okay, Cardinal game went down on Friday.
Wasn't perfect.
It wasn't. No,
It was a good game.
No, they didn't. The first teams didn't do as well as they did last
No.
week. But the first thing that stands out to me, of course, was there was no Drew Brees. That would show how our secondary, can cover,
Right.
and pick up the, because Drew Brees would just man, he's relentless.
Darts.
Yeah, he's
Darts.
relentless.
Yeah.
And he comes at you, it's just hitting you like a flood, just hitting you. We didn't get that, so when I saw him not playing, I was going, oh, this is going to be another cakewalk as far as the defense goes.
Were they playing the third string guy most of the time? Did the backup even play?
Yeah, no, the backup
So
didn't play.
we were going up
we were
against
going up against
third string
a
quarterback.
third string quarterback
For the majority of the game.
for the majority of the entire game.
Now, to the defense's credit, I think the passing defense showed why he was the third string quarterback.
Correct.
And they played really well.
Correct.
I think the run defense, though, is
Oh
what's
my!
really
That was my
disappointing.
next. That was my next.
I read your mind.
Yeah, you sure did. Because that was the first thing we like. What's going on? I mean,
Well, granted, they are one of the better running teams
Correct.
in the NFL,
Correct.
and they have shifted from that. Drew Brees is kind of a decoy in that sense.
that's correct.
And I'll give them that, but this is also preseason. You also have to show up a little bit.
Right.
And I didn't think the defense
I
showed
didn't
up on
think
that.
they did either. And Mark Ingram is good, but man, he looks like
They made him look like
a
vintage
superstar.
AP.
And we were getting gashed. I
Yeah.
mean, 7 carries for 36 yards. He's averaging 5.1 yards per carry.
That's too much.
That's way too much. And it's like, where are the meat up front to stop those guys?
Well, one of them had a foot injury.
Right. Yeah, we'll get to that soon. Another below the waist injury to Mr. Man. Yeah, we'll get to that. Man, that just kind of gets to me a little bit.
Right?
But,
I triggered a nerve.
Yeah, you definitely did. But they killed us in the run, and it wasn't just the first team. It was every team.
Yeah.
Second team, third team. They were gashing us.
Yeah. Run.
I mean,
Big
running,
run, big
just
run, big
running
run.
it down our throat. But the defense, like you said, the secondary would come up with that stop or come up with that turnover.
Or the quarterback
Or
would
the
fumble the ball.
quarterback, or that
5
third
yards
string
behind
guy
him.
that doesn't have
That was at least 2, right?
yeah,
that we
2
got?
times that he just gave us the ball, and so if they had even the second string guy, they probably would have been scoring on those drives because they were running the ball easily at
Yeah,
will.
you would think.
So, but the game goes the way it goes, and so we'll take it. But wow, I was like really blown away how the defensive line just did not show up.
Do you think-
Or is the Saints' offensive line really that much better?
They're a good offensive line, but I think we made them look better.
Oh, yes, we did.
I don't think that that's an all-pro across the line offensive
Right.
line. I think it's a good line. I think it's good for their scheme,
Mhm.
just like ours is good for our scheme.
Right.
But I don't think it's like when you had the Cowboys offensive line of 2 years ago when it was they just showed up out of nowhere and all
Right.
these young guys are
Right.
balling out. I
They
don't
better
think
get it
they're that
together
good.
because that Cowboy one's coming in. They got to go in there on the road next week
That's true.
and battle the back in the backfield and that up front again.
So Michael Colangelo Catterson on Facebook Live right now just mentioned what I was going to bring up next. Benet Ben-Wickery is looking good.
Oh,
Do you
heck
think
yeah.
he's going to take Jamar Taylor's spot, or do you think he's going to be cornerback 3?
I think
'Cause he
personally,
balled out.
He's balling, but I think personally, this defense is going to build another lockdown corner out of 2 guys.
Okay, so
I
you're
think they
saying
can
3
use.
lockdown
I
corners.
think they can use 2 guys to make up that other spot.
Yeah.
Like rotating them in and out, in and out, in and out. Use those 2 guys because those 2 guys are covering
Well,
great.
don't put it past our coordinators to put them both in at the same,
Exactly.
and have Patrick as
Yeah.
well, because
Right,
we can
right.
always pull a safety in and
If
go
we
through.
can cover the way they're covering right now, oh my goodness, sky's the limit.
Because they have great handling skills
Right.
when it comes to making plays on the ball.
That guy frustrated Agadosi in the last day of camp.
Yeah.
And he's
For good reason.
He's a hawk. He's a hawk.
I like that.
I love it. I love it. And you can tell he's got a swag that he's hanging around with Pat. You can tell.
Yeah, he's rubbing off on
Yeah,
him.
he's rubbing off on him. So you could be right. He could get put in the first spot. You never
Maybe they
know,
go
but
50-50 for that spot.
50-50 for that spot, or just go ahead and rotate him.
Situational based on
Yeah,
size.
I would rotate him. It's like keep him fresh. We got 2 lockdown
Treat him like a
sides.
defensive line.
Oh my goodness. Both the receivers will be locked down. It's man.
I'm jacked up right now.
You
for
know?
this.
You know?
That's gonna be good.
Finally, we can get this over. Get that defense looking the way we want it to look. Sorry, Brandon Williams.
Oh, too
Sorry,
soon.
man.
Too soon.
Yeah. We got a lot more Cardinal talk, Bird Gang. You're listening to the Kazual Sportz Show, NBC Sports Radio, AM 1060. Hang around with us. We got a long way to go. We'll be right back. We're going to look at the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And I want to try to get that quote from Keyshawn again.
cannot find it.
I can't. I don't remember. I don't want to quote something that I don't. I should have looked it up. I didn't have time today to do anything. Prep.
And Michelangelo, he is practicing, but he's still day to day. So probably not going to do much in the preseason right now.
Who this?
Bynes.
Yeah, they're saving him and Dayon Buchanan. They just letting them get that stay fresh.
That rest.
Yeah, let them stay fresh because when it's time it goes.
Michelangelo says Brandon's got to go.
Don't worry, you ain't got to worry about that. He's done.
I think he's taking care of that one on his own.
Yeah, he did that on his own. I think he's having problems with zone coverage. Coverage, period. Tackling that
Technique.
zone coverage. But that was the coaches. The coaches said he was having problems with zone defense, zone coverage. But they had him playing deep into the last preseason game. I didn't see much of him in the second one.
And Glennon's still out with that. I guess it's his hand.
Glennon?
He wasn't playing either.
Is he injured? I wasn't aware of that. I don't know if he was injured.
Let me pull that up before we talk about
But he has
quarterbacks.
not done anything.
Forearm injury.
Okay, well that explains it then. I did not even know that.
Jokes.
Okay.
Felt like with his grip it wasn't there. Wanted to give him an opportunity to get in there and be successful.
Well, he better get healthy because that other dude's about to take the spot.
I swear a little.
I don't think that's going to happen. There's no way you can go into the season with 2 rookie quarterbacks behind the starter.
And they're smart by giving them time.
Yeah. Okay, well that kind of gives me a little understanding. I'm like, because that whole time I'm going, why is he even in camp? The last 3 days of camp he wasn't doing anything. But nobody had mentioned that he was hurt.
Yeah, it just came out 2 days ago.
Okay.
Nothing like giant or anything.
Flacco. You see Jalen Ramsey's rant about all the quarterbacks? I was like, what is
You wanna
this
talk
dude
about that?
doing?
It's on there. I mean, I can gear it up there in a second.
Dang. Flacco looked like he was like coming out sharp.
Well, you know why.
Yeah, you got that kid behind him. He's like, y'all drafted this dude, now it's time for me to get on my. I gotta show y'all who I am.
As far as the injury for Bynes, it just says undisclosed. There's really been no news on it yet. So they're probably just giving him rest.
Mm-hmm.
That's from CBS.
And the way that dude plays, he needs a rest.
Yeah, you can skip camp. He'll be alright.
I don't think he's gonna miss anything preseason. Next week, I'm excited for next week, man. To see the starters go all the way to the third quarter.
Yeah, that'll be good. Oh yeah, Scooby's trying to play and get on the roster for sure. Hate to root for a U of A guy, but still.
So they're gonna go through the whole preseason and just cut that many people.
Yeah, there's no first wave anymore. You don't have to.
No more waves like that.
You can. So like players are getting cut around the league, but you don't have to.
Right. That's gonna be a lot of folks out of a job on every team.
Just like that.
Boom.
Snap.
53 to 90. That's like 40-something players gonna just go home. Man. I'm gonna go into the quarterback and then the wide receiver again. Then we're gonna talk about Mr. Kimdiche. You already got him Ben Wickery. I had already had him coming up.
Ooh, and we gotta talk that Dora dude.
Did you hear all the things?
Dora, yeah.
You got Wolf and them.
Wolf and Pass.
Pass.
Yeah.
Talking about it.
Montarius Dora.
And then Pass just kind of lost me with the last one. He did the song talking about some did. I'm like, okay, that's it. You just
And then he
overdid it.
goes, sorry.
He was sorry, yeah. I mean, you just overdid it, dude.
Mute for a minute.
He killed it. That's it. It's not funny anymore.
But I'd
He
still
just
take
killed
them
it.
over like the regular Fox guys that always get flexed to our game.
Wolf be saying some crazy stuff, man. I'm like, what is this dude saying? But he's funny.
Yeah.
We now return to the Kazual Sportz Show on NBC Sports Radio AM 1060 with your host, Kazual.
Welcome back, Bird Gang, into the Casual House. All right, we're going to get back into the game on Friday night. Let's go to the quarterbacks in that game. I just got word, of course, like you just told me during the break there, that Glennon, they just announced him having some sort of
Forearm,
injury, which just really explains a lot to me now. I'm going, wow, they haven't just said anything up until now, because the last 3 days of camp, Charles Kanoff was getting all the reps on the third team. I'm going, okay, is something wrong with it? But nobody was saying anything. So I thought maybe the kid was out playing him or something.
You got the writings on the wall almost.
Yeah, and then he came in the preseason game. Kanoff showed out in that first game. I'm like, uh-oh. Glennon, what's going on? Why are they holding back on him?
Well, it makes perfect sense.
Now it makes sense to me. Like, okay.
And if you look at Wilkes as a head coach, it seems like he's playing a lot of these injuries close to the vest, unless they're the obvious ones that you see, like the Kimdiche injury and obviously the AQ Shipley injury. But all the other minor ones, he kind of keeps them close, protects the players, whereas Bruce kind of would just let it out.
Yeah, but isn't it the rule of the NFL that they have to tell them, let the injuries be known of what's going on, or is it just only to the NFL? They don't have to do it to the media.
Yeah, I mean they have to report to the NFL.
Yeah,
like we saw with Bynes, it's an undisclosed injury,
Exactly.
and he's been out for who knows how long now.
That's true. That's
so
true. Okay, well, we had the three quarterbacks that did play. We're not going to worry about Charles Kanoff because he was playing in garbage time throughout the whole game.
Played all right.
Okay, and he played okay. He did all right. Bradford, perfect in the preseason still. Yeah, it's only 6-7 throws, and they're short, intermediate.
I do want to see a long ball.
I want to see something.
I'm scared, but I want to see him throw something past 20 yards.
Right, past 20 yards, and he's been perfect. But he is, and like I said, he's on point, just where that ball's going. He gets it out fast, and it goes exactly where it needs to go. So he was 6 for 6 for 61 yards, and all he had to do, of course, is to turn around and hand that ball off most of the time, because those six throws are short, 5-yard passes. It's like, okay, well, 10 yards at the most. And then Josh Rosen.
Chosen Rosen, baby.
Chosen Rosen.
The more I see, the more I like it, man.
I like that.
The more I see, the more I like.
Rosen. They just lit everybody up when he hit Kurt. I'm like, okay, there it is.
It's over. That's the future. The future's written.
But he looked good. He looked more comfortable with the line in front of him.
Absolutely. Well,
the line that was blocking for him did a heck of a job. They are getting better at pass blocking too.
And okay, so take all of that out, take the connection with Kirk out, everything. What I loved the most, the tipped pass that he batted down instantly.
Yes. He's a smart guy, man.
It may have been a little bit close to the defense for my liking, but he still had the nerve and the warehouse to knock the ball down.
Right.
Instead, where even Carson would have grabbed that ball and tried to run 1 extra yard and then bust his leg up. At least Rosen has
Lay
that
off
mindset.
Carson, man. Carson was too cool,
but
man.
we've
Carson
seen him
was
do
good.
that in the past.
Yeah, he has. Yes.
So I'm not saying it like as a bash. I mean, I've actually seen him do it.
Right.
Whereas Rosen is now thinking, and I mean, he's
And
very
then
cerebral.
the next thing that you can look at for a young quarterback to know in the crucial situation when they're doing that 2-minute drive or when they're trying to get that field goal, not to take that sack.
Right.
He rolls out and just throws that thing, or he knows
Almost intentional
almost. He should have got
Probably-
he should have got a
probably
flag
should've.
right there. Yeah,
Probably
right
should've
there. But he's just his instincts to know I can't take a sack right
Yeah.
here. For a young guy, that's pretty good.
And what I like too is guys on Facebook right now are saying that he's holding it a little bit too long for their liking, but he is taking those deeper shots than Bradford was.
That's
Like
so
Bradford's
true.
got the ball out quick, and we all know why.
Right.
Because we don't want him to get hurt.
Correct.
With Rosen, we want to see all the tricks that he has, and he may have overthrown or underthrown a couple of the long ones, but
Right.
he's also going to take those to get into that rhythm in the NFL game.
Exactly. And playing in front of the first team like that, it can only get you more confidence.
With no David Johnson or Larry Fitzgerald.
Exactly. So he did an excellent job. I mean, the pass he threw to Kirk was just a bullet,
Yeah.
and it was like that was
a
the
good one.
only place it could have been thrown. And it was like,
Yeah.
this kid has got it.
And that was good on Kirk too, because he ran the route the
right.
right way, got
Exactly.
the separation right when he needed to.
Right, which
It was a good-
leads us into the receiver's room.
Yeah.
Kirk pretty much stood up in that game. It stood out a little bit more than from the
One
pack.
more.
And then, of course, Chad
Williams.
had a heck of a game. And I'm like,
23.
okay, those two guys kind of stepped up a little bit. You know,
And they
not-
know they did.
You know, the podium where you got to get up and get the, they took a step up the podium. They're
Yeah.
starting to come up a little bit.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, well, there goes a little flash of some speed. But I wrote an article that went out last night or yesterday. I don't know when it was.
Yesterday, yep.
I still think that we have a legit number one and we have a bunch of legit threes.
Probably.
I don't see the two yet.
No,
But
one of them has to.
those two guys stepping up on that podium like they did and got to that next level. Let's see it be done consistently. Let's see it be done
Yeah.
next week against another first team. Let's see Chad come out there and do what he was doing in that game at the same time.
We got to see it again.
We have to see it again.
From both of them,
Right.
honestly, because no one else is showing up. I mean, JJ had what, maybe 1 or 2 catches in that game,
Right.
and for short, nothing crazy. I
But
mean,
not-
there's no one else showing up in the wide receiver room.
Right. I'm gonna flip the bird gang upside down right now with my
Uh-oh.
next comment.
Oh no.
I mentioned this in the article just briefly. I didn't want to get into no detail, but hey, Mr. Khan is going to be coming back, and if these receivers have not stood out yet, we need a legit number 2, and this is why we need a legit number 2 wide receiver that will
I know where you're going with this.
that will demand attention, because that element keeps David Johnson a threat. When we don't have a number 2, they're just going to roll coverage over to him as a normal receiver and takes that element of surprise out of the game. So we need a number 2 that's going to demand some attention. And it may not be the guy y'all think, but still, I think this dude Dez Bryant would be the legit 2 for this team.
He'll be the legit locker room cancer to this team.
Okay. See, those things you got to look at it like this. 1 year, he's going to have Fitz. Do you really think that Dez Bryant's going to stump over Fitzgerald?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
There's no way that's going to happen, man.
We don't disagree much, but this is something that I disagree with you on 100%.
Okay, think of it this way. In Dallas, he was the 1. So he didn't have nobody to look up to.
He still thinks he's a 1.
Dude, that's not happening.
That's his problem.
But in Dallas he was the 1, and he didn't have a mentor. Not a mentor. I won't say mentor because he's too old for that.
No.
But he doesn't have a guy that he can look up to and go, okay, well this guy is a guy I can look up to because he's up there. He's a future Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Okay, he never had that. So when he comes to the Cardinals and you see Larry Fitzgerald in that locker room, do you really think that he's going to try to overstep the legend? I don't think so. I think for 1 year he would hold his dang mouth. I think for 1 year he has to ball out. He has to come back and get his stock back up.
I really think he's going to just be a problem. And some people asking if he signed with Cleveland. He left. He did not.
He left Cleveland with no contract.
No deal yet.
That says a lot. And see,
So he's still out there.
Okay, I will give you this. he has hurt his stock by opening his mouth. I give you that, because when he started going back and forth
All the
with
time.
Jerry, and he started going back, okay, now that's why Cleveland's like, okay, this could be an issue.
If Cleveland's not looking at you,
Cleveland-
that's a problem.
But here's the thing: Cleveland does not have anybody in that locker room that can look at, that he can look up to and say that those are a bunch of young kids. They're just gonna act crazy anyway.
Right.
But Larry is the key to this whole thing. I'm telling you. In my gut, I'm telling you. He may not be, everybody's choice as far as a team player and all this
Right.
stuff. But 1 year with Fitz in front of him, man, I just got a feeling, and he ain't finished playing.
No, he's still got a little bit.
He's got some left in the tank. All that stuff that last year
Right.
he didn't have, it was overblown to
How would Bryce Butler feel? See what you just did? You just ruined one man's life. Because he just left Des Bryant to get back with him again and to lose his number 2 spot.
That's a good point. I give you that one
Poor
too.
Bryce Butler's gonna be like, forget it, I'm out.
But Bryce Butler already knows he's not a 1 and gonna take Fitzgerald's place when he leaves. Butler
Yeah.
knows that. He's not, and right now. He's not even a 2.
Yeah.
If it's not gonna be Dez, then who? Because we need a legit 2 over there.
Is Macklin still available?
That's a good pick, but he's always hurt. That dude can't stay healthy.
What else? I mean,
But
that
that's the next name that's out there would be Jeremy Macklin.
I'd rather have Macklin.
Okay. I mean, I'm not gonna say no to that. I'm
Got
saying
more speed.
I'm saying a legit 2 needs to be there, regardless of who it is. A legit 2 needs to be there, because that element of surprise with David Johnson, we have to have that, because that's going to be the element to
Yeah.
kill teams
Yeah,
with.
and Eric Decker wouldn't do it.
No, I think he signed with somebody already.
Yeah, and Floyd on the Saints. How about you want to pick that? No.
No,
Okay.
that's not happening.
Well, he's not making that Saints
That's
roster
not going
either.
to happen. That's not going to
It's the
happen.
worst place for him to be.
I said a good number 2. I didn't just say any receiver off the garbage heap. I'm talking about a legit
There's not
2.
much left.
And then, like you said, Jeremy Macklin. Jeremy Macklin is another injury-prone type of receiver, but
Right.
when healthy, oh man, he could be a legit 2. I don't know.
When
man.
healthy. Where have I heard that before?
Yeah, well,
When healthy.
that's been our team for the last few years, man. We don't have a lot of people that's healthy all the time, but I love it though. The receiver room still has. They have to figure it out and play it out on the field, but it'll be interesting to me to see where Mr. Bryant lands, because if he can't walk into Cleveland and get a contract, man,
Yeah, that's a problem. He might
man.
sit out a year.
I don't think so. I think our situation, if it gets worse and nobody steps up, Steve Kime will
I'd be
come in here
surprised.
and okay, let's put it this way. Either Macklin or Bryant is coming here at some point.
I'd like Macklin.
Okay?
I'll
But
take my chances.
Let's hope that the receiver room steps up.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Greg Little is what, 3rd on the list on the depth chart as
Yeah.
far as receivers. So I'm hoping he gets there and steps it up. But we'll see. We'll see what happens, Bird Gang. A lot to be determined in the next game. So next 2 games preseason wise. You're listening to the Kazual Sportz Show, NBC Sports Radio, AM 1060. Kazual Sports, KAZ with the Z at the end of sports on Facebook and Twitter and our YouTube page. Hang around, Bird Gang. We'll be back. I like the business readers. It's like, no, that ain't gonna happen. Watch what happens when the preseason ends. Des Bryant signs a 1-year deal. Everybody gonna be like, that fool said it.
No. That's one of the things that you call that I hope doesn't happen.
Nah, I know. I'm just putting it out there. It's like, man, for the simple fact we need that number 2 to do something.
Seth, you know who I have in that matchup? He wants to know Broncos rematch.
Say that again?
He's a Broncos fan. He wants to know if we win the Broncos game again. Absolutely.
Broncos. I don't think Keenum's going to be all that good over there. I don't know why. I think that was just a situation where the team he was on in the scheme made who he was. Going to a new team and having to be the man. I'm watching him in preseason. He don't look that good to me.
No. I'm not feeling
Look for them to struggle out the gate. But their defense is going to be nice. So So if you can play defense and stay in some games, then maybe he can be a game manager and keep him in a game. But I don't know.
Sorry you don't like me, Big Paper.
Paper in the house.
Said I'm garbage.
He said what?
He told me I'm garbage.
Why?
You know, he's entitled to his opinion.
This is crazy.
Yeah, Agudusi, he might be on the way out.
Yeah.
That's a rough one.
Yeah. He hasn't even caught a pass yet in preseason. I don't even think they had anything thrown his way.
Now he's not getting targets. I mean,
No,
it's hard when you
targets
got Rosen wanting Kirk. I mean, Rosen to Kirk. It's a good dynamic, but that's where he's looking 10 times out of 10.
Right.
So those other guys that are in the fray aren't going to get the looks. It's going to be a camp thing if they
I
get
feel for
those.
that dude. I thought he was. Man, he is tall.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna turn into one of those receivers where you just throw it up there and he go get it. You know, but man.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't have anything else after that, so I guess we can go into. Yeah, we gotta do the other NFL. We already did the other NFL stuff.
Yeah, not some of the transactions.
Okay. Yeah, AP. Oh, we gotta do
AP,
something.
Scandrick.
Freaking Jesus.
Yeah, that's true.
When is this dude going to step it up? I got a feeling he's gonna have another one of those up and down. Y'all on that signs yet? I thought they had made some hayway on that.
Apparently not enough payday anyway. They did, that's the funny part though, they extended their right tackle for 4 years. Rob Havenstein? We got the Seattle Blues.
That's all I have, man. I don't have anything else. Anything else stood out in that game?
Evan Bain played. Dora. Dawson. I'm gonna say Dora.
Dora. Cappy. All right, Bird Gang, welcome back into the Casual House. We were just sitting there talking about some of the names that's on this team, man. And the second team, and they're making plays in the second unit.
Dora.
Man, they killed me with that. When he said that on there, I was like, oh, you just killed the joke with that one, man. But yeah, we got Dora. That dude's making some plays, though. He's making some plays.
I'm all
Him
for
and
guys
Cap.
that make plays.
Cap, he's been balling.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Obviously, Olsen Pierre, we already know.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
guys that just make plays that just happen, you can't replace that. You can't fabricate that.
Right. They just magnet to the ball somehow. They're magnet to the play somehow. But can they bring that same intensity being in the first team? You know, playing against somebody that's, you know, the level of play goes up, and now can you bring it?
Right.
But
that is the test.
But just the will they have, those three guys, man, they've been showing out pretty good.
And you know who else showed up?
Who's that?
Evan Bain.
Oh yes, yeah, he's been doing pretty good as well.
Safe to say he's number 2 in this center. I would say from guard to center on either side, he'll probably be that backup guy.
I mean, but we're overlooking Mason Cole being in the first team, have not had one word
It's
said.
as if he's not even there.
It's like this. Is he? Man, he is.
He's that good.
That good.
That's a solid pick.
That is one heck of a pick, man.
And everyone thought that was going to be a weird.
You haven't heard anything bad about him. Nothing
Not a
wrong.
thing.
Nothing. He's not. I mean, he
You've
is
heard
doing
that,
it.
You've heard that he is just as mean as the guys that are next to him,
Exactly.
and that's what I love.
Man,
to
that
hear.
is so cool too.
5 guys that are just going to beat your face
And
in.
that dude is not small. So
No.
that's why I
Agreed.
also think we do need the depth there for sure. But I think that dude's young enough to last through a whole season.
Absolutely.
And so, man, he took the reins and running with it.
There's been no issues as far as false starts on his end.
Nothing. The runs are
All
coming off
sides.
his back.
Yeah, him. He's the one making the
Yeah,
entries.
it's like, man, okay, well.
But then you had that David Johnson run where he went backwards into the end zone.
Right,
You had Upati
right.
Pole.
Right.
That was a beautiful.
Man.
That line was just beautiful.
Man.
Even Humphries was like, I didn't really know what was going on. I just kept pushing because everyone else kept moving.
And David took 3 people in the end zone.
Oh man,
I mean,
I'll take that every day.
man, I was hyped up. I was like, if we're gonna look like this running the ball, oh man, that just makes the passing game so much that much better.
Especially if you're doing
The
short
play
sweep
action,
stuff.
the play action, you just dipping, dunking, and dunking. Also, all of a sudden, hit him with the big one over the top.
As long as it's not
man.
JJ.
No, yeah, he'll drop that one. But you got some other NFL news.
Yeah, we got obviously a lot of you have already heard the big fish.
Oh, we got to
Not
get
really
crew
the
to
big
hit us up with the can't get right in a minute.
Oh yeah,
Get that ready for because we got something.
yeah.
Thanks.
All right, we got Adrian Peterson to the Redskins. He'll be playing us in Week 1 most likely.
Yes.
See if he can replicate his only good game in University of Phoenix Stadium.
Right. He'll give you 1 or 2 good ones.
We got Josh Allen, most likely going to be starting the rest of the preseason for Buffalo.
We already called that back when
Yep.
we started this whole rookie quarterback. We said he would be the most likely to start, and here it is.
On the NFC West side, you got John Ryan, the punter, is cut from Seattle per his own request. And you also have Sebastian Janikowski being their starting kicker.
Man, there
now.
goes an old name
Yep.
in Seattle.
Then you got the Rams extending their right tackle, Rob Havenstein, for 4 years.
But can't get
Not Aaron Donald.
get Donald his money.
Nope.
Wow.
Because you got to keep Gurley running.
Yeah.
You got Orlando Scandrick to the Chiefs,
Right.
and Bengals cut Ioka, the safety.
Right. Man, Donald. Man, how could
Donald, no Bell.
wow. Okay. Well, as far as the Cardinals are concerned, Donald can stay sitting out.
So can Bell, because that helps the David Johnson contract.
That's true. That's
Save
true.
some money.
That's true. Okay, so we got. Go ahead and hit that up, Cruz.
Here's to those who just can't get right.
It's been a while since we had some people that can't get it right, but this one was just too obvious.
Go ahead, I'll let you do it.
It has to be one of our guys on the Cardinals, Robert Condice. Just cannot get the lower injuries from the waist down. I mean, injury. I mean, little knick-knack injuries.
Yeah.
That just okay. I got this excuse to not
My calf,
dominate.
my foot.
my calf, my foot, my this. Okay, dude. Okay, sometimes you got to just go ahead and just I mean, I know injury's an injury. I get that,
Right.
but I just hope this is not another one of those years where he's just battling those little things and stopping him from in the mind from
Right.
doing what he needs to do on the field.
Here's the problem that I have with Kimdichie. From the day we called his name on the podium, instant comparisons to who?
They had him compared to a lot of different guys.
But locally, Darnell Dockett.
Okay.
This is the Darnell Dockett 2.0. This is
Okay.
his
Yeah,
replacement.
you're right.
You're talking about a guy who worked tooth and nail for every minute on the field.
Right.
Fought through injuries galore, played pure passion,
Yeah.
but
yeah,
also
that's
just
no joke.
overpowered people.
Right.
Kimdichie can do that in practice,
Right.
but then he gets hurt and derailed and gets mentally in his head and
Right.
doesn't play on the field during prime time or when the lights are on.
But what's so scary about it going forward is that he is so key to this defense.
Absolutely.
I mean, if he can just do what we saw in college on tape,
Or even just in camp.
yeah,
It'd be
exactly,
great.
Exactly. I mean, it's like if he can be that disruptive force, we need that. I mean, you saw Mark Ingram just shred our defense, and it's like if he's in there playing where he's supposed to be and doing his thing,
He's not getting
that's where
through.
you stop. You're a run stopper.
Absolutely.
You're the man. You're supposed to be that run stopper for this defense. Him and Corey Peters together.
They don't say it starts all up front for a reason.
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
that is the reason.
We're
And
gonna-
you are the guy.
Yeah, we're gonna need him. We're gonna really need him. We're gonna really need him to show up and not, fade back because of an injury getting in your head to give you a reason to not go all out.
If he doesn't show up in this season, I wouldn't put it past Wilkes to be done with him after this year.
Yeah, because he wasn't Wilkes' guy.
I mean, he's got enough tape from the years prior
Right.
to. I mean, he had the time.
And Wilkes was saying consistency. That's just been the whole word.
He's consistently been saying consistency.
That's been the whole word when you talk about Robert. Oh, Robert's got this. Robert's got all kinds of ability. He's got that, but he just needs to be consistent. You got to be consistent. That's all we've been hearing. How do you get consistent?
I've heard it on other shows in the morning. They were talking about maybe he's not preparing in the offseason enough to have his body professionally ready.
Correct.
I mean, you look at Larry, David, even Tyrann Mathieu towards the end of his time with Arizona were doing things diet-wise, nutrition-wise, exercise-wise on keeping their bodies in prime shape.
Mm-hmm.
Does this mean that Kendichi's on the couch eating Funyuns in the offseason? Because
you never know.
and then when you all of a sudden trying to ramp up to this intensity of the NFL at the last minute,
right,
you're gonna pull something.
so you got to take that conditioning serious, and that turns your level of play up.
Yeah, and then if he's not eating enough of the right foods either, I mean,
Right.
your muscles aren't gonna be where they need to be.
Right. I don't know, man. I just hope it's not another one of those years. Because who do we have to replace him if he's just not bringing it? You know, the depth chart. We need some depth when it comes to that. Because who's going to be the person that's going to replace that if we're lacking in that area? I mean, if we're getting gashed like that from the Saints.
Right.
You know, we got a lot of running backs we're going to be playing against. We got Ezekiel Elliott coming in here. I mean, we're going to be having AP coming up on the first game of the season.
Yep. Absolutely.
I mean, you think about the running backs that are going to be coming in here. It's like, okay, man, we got to sure up that spot, man. And he's the man. He has to be the man. This is it.
We really don't have a lot of depth in that area, especially with the way that we rotate the line out. It's not like you just play the whole game. You're playing snaps per drive.
Right.
So you need more depth, and maybe that's where Keim's going to focus when he gets back
I hope
tomorrow,
so.
because
I
he
hope
comes
so.
back tomorrow.
All right.
So we'll see
That
what
would
he
be
does.
cool. I wonder how that's going to
6
go.
a.m. He's got like 5 signings, like probably
No, you
lined
just
up.
never know, man.
Like sign, let's go.
You never know, and keep your eyes on that wide receiver room.
Oh, man. A week from now, if that happens,
Keep your eyes on the wide
Imagine-
receiver room.
imagine at Larry's dinner next week, we're going to be interviewing
Exactly.
Des Bryant. We're going to
Exactly.
be egg all over my face.
Yeah. Hey, I'm just saying.
It better work.
His outlook was, I need to go to a team that's going somewhere and that's set to win. What other better team to come to that's got a good defense? I mean, we're getting better in special teams. We got a heck of a running game. Probably going to be the best running game in this league this
Definitely
year.
an underdog team, though, nationally.
Right. Oh, yeah, you're right. That's a good point. We have been really underestimated. I'm telling you, that running game is the key.
Yeah, absolutely.
If we run the ball like I've seen just these little bits and pieces the way we run, look out. I'm telling you, we're going to be above 500 easy.
If you build the run game, they will come.
Exactly. If you build a run, yeah, exactly. The
Yeah.
playoffs will come. Bird Gang, thank you for joining us for another edition of the
Yes,
Kazual
yes.
Sports Show, my man Sean. Thank you, crew behind the glass, and all the Bird Gang that participate on Facebook Live. We love you guys. Keep supporting the show. We appreciate you. And look for us next week live from Scottsdale. We go. That was
We
good.
got on that one.
USW Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
We're going to have the man, Larry Fitzgerald, in the Casual House for the first time next week. Oh, man, that's going to be cool.
Say bye, Earl.
You heard?